All right, you guys, we got 6 o'clock. Ready? All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the January 10th, 2024 meeting of the Fond du Lac City Council. First item of business is roll call. It's done electronically. I will declare a quorum is present. Next item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silent reflection. Please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on our agenda is public hearings, and we have none, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda finalizes the proposed actions for the meeting, December 13th, 2023 minutes, and the list of claims dated January 3rd, 2024. Is there any discussion or corrections to the consent agenda? Seeing none of those, I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Motion to accept the consent agenda.
Motion to accept by Mr. Mullen.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Zimmerman. Thank you both. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please proceed to vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you all. Next on our agenda is audience comments, agenda and non-agenda items. The presiding officer shall limit speaking time for non-agenda items to 1 minute and items noticed on the agenda to 5. Ms. Hefter, do we have anyone wishing to speak?
Just the one.
Okay. We have the one non-agenda item. Mr. McCord wishes to speak on the city's current pay plan. The floor is yours.
Good evening and Happy New Year to you all. I want to take a quick step back 3 years ago to January of 2021. Back then in January of 21, I was making $31.04 an hour. Now, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, their Consumer Price Index calculator, I would need to be making $36.44 an hour to have the same buying power I did back in January of 21. Today, my current wage is $32.95. That's a difference of nearly $3.50 an hour. So in short, I took a pay cut of nearly 10% over the last 3 years. I look to you all and your help to resolve this. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Mr. McCord. We appreciate you being here. And with that, I believe that closes our audience comments this evening. So now we'll move on to our action items. And our first action item tonight is, I believe it's Resolution 9099, which is a resolution making reappointments to the Alcohol License Committee and the Board of Review. Mr. Moore, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Happy New Year, everybody. Good evening. We have 3 citizens tonight nominated for reappointments. Mr. Gilgenbach for a second term on the ALC, and 2 people reappointed on the Board of Review, Mr. Carter and Ms. Dobbins, and I recommend approval of all 3 of them for their reappointments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moore. Questions for Mr. Moore at this point? No questions? Okay. At this point, we'll move on to entertaining a motion for that then. Motion to approve by Ms. Brault.
Second.
Second by Ms. Riccio. Any further discussion at this point? Seeing none, please proceed to vote. And that passes unanimously. Thanks, everyone. Now we'll move on to action item B, which is the resolution making appointments to the Downtown Fond du Lac Partnership Board. Mr. Moore, once again.
Thanks again. This is a nomination for a new nominee, Ms. Deiler, and this is for the DFP Board. It's to fulfill a term that was being filled by another person who needed to leave the board, and I recommend approval of Ms. Deiler.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moore. Questions from council for Mr. Moore? Without any questions, I'll entertain a motion. 9100, so moved by Mr. Schuessler. Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Mullen. Thank you both. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please proceed to vote. And that passes unanimously. And now we're on to the Class B intoxicating liquor license and Class B fermented malt liquor license, the limited liability company, and, which is Trinish LLC, and the address is W6968 Westwood Drive, Fond du Lac, doing business as Pump and Pantry, location of premises 329 West Pioneer Road. Ms. Hefter has that introduction for us.
Thank you, President Heisler. Trinish LLC is requesting an on-premises Class B fermented malt and intoxicating liquor license at 329 West Pioneer, which is currently licensed by Pump and Pantry. Background checks were done on the proposed agent, Mr. Bista, and city staff and alcohol license committee recommend approval.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Hefter. Are there questions for Ms. Hefter at this point? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Motion to approve by Ms. Ricchio. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Cassidy. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please proceed to vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you. A Class B intoxicating liquor license and Class B fermented malt license, Liquor Outlet Fond du Lac, Inc. The home address is 1317 East Oklahoma Avenue in Milwaukee, doing business as Rare Fine Wine, Spirits, and Cigars. Location of premises is at 661 West Johnson Street. And Ms. Hefter, once again, the floor is yours.
Thank you again. Liquor Outlet Fond du Lac is applying for a new Class B fermented malt and intoxicating liquor license at 661 West Johnson Street, which is the former 50/50 store. This location will have a small bar area to offer samplings and therefore applying for an on-premises license, which will also allow for off-premises sales. Background checks were done on the proposed agent, Mr. Manhini, and city staff and alcohol license committee recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Hefter. Questions for Ms. Hefter at this point? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Mullen. Second by Ms. Ricchio. Thank you both. Further discussion at this point? Seeing none, let's vote. And that passes unanimously. And we are on to item E, which is the Class B intoxicating liquor license and Class B fermented malt license for the limited liability company, and that is Hacienda La Katrina LLC, and that is, the home address on that is 9236 West Mitchell Street in West Allis, and doing business as Hacienda La Revolucion, and the location of the business is 525 North Peters Avenue, Suite 100. Once again, Ms. Hefter.
Thank you again. Hacienda La Katrina LLC is also applying for a Class B fermented malt and intoxicating liquor license at 525 North Peters Ave, Suite 100, which is the former Casa del Tequila. Background checks were done on the proposed agent, Mr. Camacho, and city staff and alcohol license committee recommend approval.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hefter. Questions from council? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Mullen. Thank you. Second by Ms. Brault. Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. And that passes unanimously. I think we sped through that, but I think that takes care of all of our action items, and there are no input items, so I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Zimmerman, I knew I could count on you. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mullen. This is not debatable. Please proceed to vote. I think I'm a record holder. Good night, everybody.
What a legend. Yeah, but you start 3 minutes early.
So, and the alcohol licensing committee meeting?